Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another week of the Sevens, this time taking place in Perth, and we are starting with a women's matchup, USA versus Fiji. Now, currently USA sit third in the overall standings. The Fijians, they are in seventh, but they are a good enough side that can they get a couple good wins early, they can potentially go far in this Perth Sevens competition. But this match is just about to get underway. The captain for this Fijian side, it is Detavutu. She's got some brilliant players in this lineup as well. Ripia Lunisau, Lomani's there, Anna Maria Naimasi, and also Donu, someone else to keep an eye on. For the USA, they were able to get themselves through to that bronze final up against the Canadians just recently. They've got Kaylin Thomas, Ariana Ramsey, Kershey the captain, and Sammy Sullivan, who always brings that physicality to a game of Rugby Sevens. And the kickoff is short from Fiji straight away, and USA trying to make the most of it. A breakaway run now. It is expected to get quite warm in Perth for today, which does mean they're playing early on in the day. Probably not a bad thing, and already there's a yellow card here up against the USA. The Fijiana side winning the early penalty, and then I believe USA actually throwing that ball away, which has awarded Fiji a few extra meters and also a one-lady advantage for the next 2 minutes. Adegoki was the lady who got sent off. And now Fijiana, they have to make the most of this little opportunity that they've just been gifted by this USA side. See if they can turn it into some points. But Fijiana have to wait to see whether or not they can make the most of that time. There was almost going to be another penalty advantage against the USA there. That has to be the quickest yellow card. It certainly felt like it, although I think we've seen one off kickoff before, haven't we? When someone took someone else out in the air, that's going to be the penalty awarded to Fijiana once more. Looking to get the attack going now. And a big fend coming in from Mwalo. USA trying to defend it, but Fijiana, just like the men's side, they will look for offloads in any opportunity they can, although they have given up the ball now. Good afternoon, Hamish. I'm glad to be back to listen to you. Says Kevin, and we've got plenty coming up today. We've got about 15 live streams of the Sevens and then the 2 matches of the Six Nations as well. So anyone who's new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Ball bounces off the post. An awkward one for the USA, who have taken it back into their in-goal area. So it will become a 5-metre scrum for Fijiana in a perfect position on the field. And also still that one-woman advantage. But it was the drop ball from Kaylin Thomas. Just ended up with that pass. Not quite going to Sammy Sullivan in an easy manner anyway. Sullivan pretty much had to take it from inside of the in-goal area. I see the Canes got the donut. They did. Yeah, no points there for them. Don't know. I'll take a guess that USA will win this one. They come in as slight favourites, but Fijiana are a fighting side. They've stepped back in on the wing, and that will be the first try of the contest. It is Ripia Lunisau who manages to score it early for the Fijiana side. Now, I will mention, all you need in these groups is top 2. Theoretically, the final, recent times anyway, the last 3 finals have been New Zealand versus Australia. But if you can make your way to the semi-final, in which whoever wins this game, it's expected that they will. That one's missed away to the side. You can find yourself perhaps up against Australia or New Zealand in the semis tomorrow. But a great early try. That now takes her to the lone all-time Fijian try scorers, with Ripia Lunisau now on 88, ahead of Naimasi, who has 87. So it could be quite a neck-and-neck type of situation for those two in the relatively near future. That ball's going to be available for the USA. Picks up now, and this is going to be a very big opportunity for USA to be able to fire back into the game. She's going to be she was about to be caught there. Rachel stressed us. I think they need to check this to make sure that there was no obstruction there, because it did seem like one of the other USA players were blocking the chance of Fiji being able to make the defensive tackle. Okay, by the sounds of it, they're going to say it is a try because the player was behind the ball. Interesting. We're going to see the replay here. Would Fiji have been able to catch Strastus had they not been blocked? Going to watch the replay here. Kershey knew exactly what she was doing. She looked to the side. No, I'm sorry. That is obstruction. They're saying there that Kershey was on, or they're saying she didn't do it on purpose. She looked up, looked at the Fijian player and changed her line to be able to block her. They're saying there's nothing wrong with it. It looked like a little bit wrong with it, but it is going to make the score now 5-all between these two sides after the first 4 minutes. The USA also back to their full contingency out on the field of 7. It's going to be the penalty awarded now to the USA. The way that the ball was picked up by Donu, they have awarded it as a penalty to the US. Fiji to win, says Melee. They're going to need a couple things to go their way at the moment. It seems like not much is going the way of Fijiana, but now looking to get this run going forward again here for Ngalo, just outside of her 22. Back across to the left-hand side. Rush defence here from the USA, forcing Fiji back to only 10 metres out from their goal line. Now, Ripia Lunisau doing well in the breakdown to get that ball back in the possession of the Fijians. Kick downfield from Naimasi. It's a good clearing kick too. It does manage to find the touchline, but it will be a good attacking chance for the USA as well. 35 metres out from Fiji's line. Can they get something going here? But of course, anyone who is here, do let me know which match you are looking forward to the most out of the games that are taking place for today. There are some absolutely awesome matches later on. New Zealand versus Fiji. I am curious to see who does well in that contest for the women's side of things. Also, Australia versus Canada. Should be a great contest too, if it's anything like the match we saw only a few leagues ago. But that is going to be a penalty awarded now to the USA once more. That was the call from the far side touch judge. Being Fiji there for offside. Have now found the mark though. It's going to be called as a scrum by the USA. They've got 90 seconds remaining in this first half. This shows the attacking intent here from the third-ranked USA. Deciding to go for attacking set piece. A lot of quick players in the back line. Adegoke, she's made her way back out onto the field, but she certainly has the pace to be able to score. Oh, front row's collapsing there at scrum times, so we'll go to a reset. Of course, if your front row collapses in a 7 scrum, your whole scrum has collapsed. There's only one row. 60 seconds remaining now in the half. Currently, these two sides are level. I will mention if we go to Golden Point, if it is a draw at the end of regular time, both sides need to really dig deep into that gas tank. What is going to be a pretty hot day in Perth now, stepping there. Kaylin Thomas offloads now. It will be the try for the USA, and it's Ariana Ramsey who manages to score at the second of the match for the USA, scoring at an opportune time just before the halftime break. They're putting on the pressure now, the US. And adding the additional 2 would certainly do just that as well. But it was a great offload from a 2-woman tackle made by Fijiana and Ariana Ramsey. Easy running for her in the end, showing off that pace. And that one has missed away to the right-hand side. So the score with 12 seconds remaining in this first half will still remain 10 points to 5 in favour of the USA. Series carries at the moment. Ariana Ramsey sits second out of any woman. Ripia Lunisau, she is at the top of the bunch with an additional 10. Fiji taking the ball near the sideline. Driving low tackle made there. Now they have to try and find some sort of attack before the end of the first half. Either that or just don't concede. That would be the worst possible thing to happen for Fijiana. USA on the ball. They win the penalty again. That time it was Adegoke who manages to win the penalty for this USA side. They now have potential of yet again going for that scrum, which does look like that's the call. Now, rather than just getting that ball out of the field of play, it looks like Fiji could find themselves conceding. It could be an Australian double winning this league. Hamish possibility if both men and the women make the final. It could certainly happen. I think, was it last year both sides were in the final with the Perth Sevens? I can't even remember who was in the final last year. I'll have a quick look while we got that halftime break. But for now, the USA just looking to get one last play going. There was one competition anyway, I remember that that Australia, both the men and the women were through to the finals. But I think only one of them won. In the end, running backwards here. But the USA creating the gap, though. Here comes the pace of Adegoke. They won't catch her, and that could just about be the game because of that try. They get themselves in a great position here, the USA. Like they said, that massive penalty won in the breakdown. We'll go here. We'll go there as well. Men's 2025 Perth. The final was, we can scroll down, final was Australia versus Argentina. They lost 41-5 in that one. That certainly wasn't the best performance from the Australian men's side. And then for the women, last year in Perth, it was Australia versus New Zealand, and Australia won 28-26. A random joiner, I had that like a hippie hitting the bong. Says, I'm nutty. Well, it is great to have you. Of course, we've got plenty more live streams all throughout the day, mainly the Sevens. Got about 15 more matches that I am going to be covering, and then we've got the 2 games of the Six Nations as well. It's going to work out to be about 12 hours of commentary over the next about 17 hours, I think I worked it out to be. So it's going to be a lot of chatting. So yeah, be sure to pop in any time you like. But currently at the moment, the USA are leading in this contest up against Fijiana, 17-5. The 3 tries being scored. Strasta scoring 1, Ariana Ramsey scoring another, and then Adegoki scoring the 3rd. For the USA, Ripi Alunisau, the lone try scorer, and the most decorated Fijiana try scorer of all time now, surpassing Anna Maria Naimasi with that try earlier on. But she's still only leading by 1 now, which means that it can go and be a bit of a seesaw between those 2 throughout this competition. Are we do any under-20s this year, even if only Sansa or Rugby or WRC? So I've done, in terms of the under-20s, we did the World Cup for them, or the under-20s championship that did take place last year. The problem with some of the under-20 stuff is they just don't like to show it here in New Zealand, and you can't really rely on just watching an illegal stream like the ones that I know you mentioned about the Rugby Vids one, so I did look it up, but they're the type of stream that if they get taken down, I literally can't commentate the rest of the game if we're midway through and it's not being shown here in New Zealand, so it makes it very difficult. When you game on tomorrow, yeah, they were a couple under-26 Nations games on today as well. But now Repia Lunisau plays halfback 7 minutes into this contest, and 17-5 the score in favour of the USA. It's all on Rugby Pass this year, says I'm Nutty. Well, that might be a bit more of an option then, rather than relying on the random YouTube streams. But now, Repia Lunisau. It's also dependent on schedule. I mean, like we said, we're doing 12 hours over the next 17. So to chuck in a couple other under-20 games into that as well means not only will I have no sleep, but I also won't have a voice remaining at the end of it. Now, Bitavitu hasn't had a huge amount of the ball as of yet for Fijiana. I'm looking to step around here, Ripi Alunisau, I should say, 5 metres out from the try line. When it's the men's Fiji game, they are going to be playing in only a couple hours' time. They are up against Argentina at 5:20 p.m. New Zealand and Fiji time. I believe that is the same. Another penalty goes the way of the USA. 5 metres out from the line. Quick tap taken. Going off to Sammy Sullivan. Had a bit of a fumble with the ball, but she picks it back up and finishes it off with another try for the USA. They now lead 22-5. A hardest sacrifice for their passion, says I am Nutty. But then surely if you're just watching it on Rugby Pass, you can just watch it yourself, can't you? So you can sacrifice your sleep instead. But go on, Sammy Sullivan, little juggle of the ball. And very nicely done. This gives the USA a much more dominant lead, and points differential, it probably won't come into it for this group, as the main match will be that USA versus New Zealand contest to work out who will finish at the top of the bunch. But 22-5 now the score sits, as that kick is missed away to the left-hand side. Kicked off now by the USA. Nicely taken by Fiji, who would need a try within the next minute or so if they want any chance of being able to make their way forward in the competition. Thing is, with it only being top 2 as well, they need a losing bonus point here to have a good chance. Have to rely on getting a win either over New Zealand or perhaps Japan. That one's going to be loose, picked up by Fiji. And the penalty awarded in their favour. Now quick tap taken again. USA not quite back the 10 metres. Way to the right-hand side. Currently a player is down for Fijiana, so playing with 6 out there on the park at the moment. Yolo Hamish says, Padza, welcome in. You are doing well. I hope you're excited for all the sevens that has taken place. Moving away to the right-hand side. Now another step there. Sammy Sullivan trying to make the tackle here. Will she be able to catch up with the player? Yes, she does, but then she dives straight in off her feet. I think this is going to be a yellow card for Sammy Sullivan. She's trying to argue that it wasn't illegal what she did, but it certainly was. She dove on the ball off her feet. The breakdown for Fijiana was not able to go smoothly. How's your day been going so far? It's been all right so far. Plenty more coming up. We're up till about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with all the rugby that has taken place. Come on, Fiji, says Hobbit. And also hopefully men's win as well this time, says Padza. Yeah, see, they managed to get themselves third in the last competition, the New Zealand men's, which I think they'd probably take with the group that they were in, but this is a massive opportunity. They just have to beat France. That's their main game, I would say, of this group. There are a couple other tough ones, though. Oh, boy, do get sleep at times. Says Padza. Yeah, I don't think it will be coming before tomorrow morning, though. That's a great run through. Almost scoring for Fijiana. And like I mentioned, they need a try, and they need it soon. Repia Lunisau, if you can rely on anyone to be able to score, it will be her. Currently, Fiji, they have done very well scoring against a one-woman disadvantaged team, but haven't really been getting it going against seven. I wouldn't be giving you the money without the lack of social respect. I wouldn't be giving you the money without the lack of social aspect which you bring. A rugby pass says no comments, etc. Says I am nutty. So what you're saying is just keep on streaming till I've streamed for like 20 hours straight. And then I can sleep when I'm dead. That's pretty much what you're saying. But no, under 20s, it hasn't ever been a draw on the channel. There's very few who actually pay attention to the under 20 setup, unfortunately. We've tried it in the past. So that's why we do the World Championship, and that's about it. Because under 26 nations, I can guarantee you would have like maybe 10, 15 watching. So to sacrifice an extra couple hours sleep for my artistry, as you say, is just not worth it, unfortunately. I still have a full-time job that I have to work outside of this. You can bring the attention, says I am nutty. No, they can watch it on Rugby Pass. But now, it's going to be the penalty awarded to the USA. It's a decent scramble defence. In fact, no, sorry, it's going to be the scrum. Sammy Sullivan still off the field for another 30 seconds here. The USA have finished 4th and 6th at each of the past 2 events in Perth. They also finished 3rd. 39 watching on 7, so says I'm nutty, so more than double what I said would be watching the under 20s. Plus what we did last weekend in terms of sevens is a much higher number than you'd expect from under 20s too. Going off to the right-hand side. Chance here for Fijiana to be able to score again, running towards the corner. They get there. Tell you what, Fiji are starting a bit of a comeback here. That is their 3rd try of the contest. This time it's scored by Lomani. And it seems like something has just clicked here. Once again, still playing up against less out there on the field, but still making the absolute most of it here, the Fijiana side. But Lomani, she's waving to the crowd as well. Very happy with that result. Oh, and missed drop kick there for Fijiana again. So the score, actually, we are sitting 13 minutes through. The second half has absolutely flown by. The Fijiana side, they are down by 7, which does mean for now they get themselves the bonus point, which once again could be crucial, depending on some of the other results. Trying to jump in there again, Fijiana, but USA, this will be the bonus point taken away for now. Off of the bench, charging forward here. It's pace for days from, I believe it's Zeplik, or Paliki, I think it is, who has managed to score that try. 50 seconds remaining right between the posts. So that takes away a big chance for this Fijiana side. And we'll go like that. I enjoy my day is ending, 4 a.m. So yeah, be sure to get yourself plenty of sleep, as there is plenty of rugby going on throughout this weekend. Have you or have you not engaged in strategic or and athletic endeavour? That is cricket today, says JD. I have not. So because of all the streams that were taking place for the day, I had to decide not to play cricket, whether that's the Perth Sevens or the Super Rugby pre-season. But the team are playing at the moment. Last I saw, they bowled the opposition out for 162. They actually had them 9 down for 140, so a nice last wicket partnership between the last two. But I'll give you an update on how they're going in the very near future as well. But now, penalty awarded to Fijiana, sitting 29 points to 15 down. This game maybe hasn't quite gone the way that Fiji would have liked, but the fact that they've scored 3 tries, I think, is a big bonus up against the USA side that did finish third in the last event. But they will be an interesting team when they go head-to-head with the Kiwis, the USA, whether or not they can really get their momentum going. Currently, Fijiana still in position. I will mention next game is going to be New Zealand versus Japan, happening just around the corner. We will be covering that one on the channel as well, so anyone who is new, be sure to stick around. Now trying to break through, not quite able to do so. Drop ball from Fijiana. That would be the end of the game, but it looks like USA want one more try, and they're going to get it as well. Just a little bit of a dagger in there. Thomas manages to score it. But yeah, making the most of that last little chance. Kaylin Thomas is the one who scores it, and now they will win this game by a bigger margin, 34-15. Already both these sides are looking exhausted out there on the park. And yeah, Fiji thinking that that knock-on was going to end the game. Play to the whistle is what the referee told them. And the USA scoring in the corner with Kaylin Thomas. That's her second of the game as well. But nonetheless, we will pop over to that next stream, ladies and gentlemen. 34-15 the score in this contest. Next is New Zealand versus Japan.